Hey, shalom, 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 Yashalom world. I'm Brother Ezekiel.
I'm Brother Javier.
And we're at it today on the new lesson. We're labeling this one, calling Ahia's love or Yah's love or Yahuwah's love. You know, God's love versus hippie love. Okay? So, the reason why I'm going into this is because obviously there's, in all lessons I see there's things going on amongst Israel, and you're trying to help our people get some more understanding and try to help edify each other with love, not trying to down individuals and stuff. But obviously we see what's going on in the streets today amongst our own people and stuff. There's not that genuine love. There's only like a handful, and it could be a whole lot better if a huge multitude of us was on that level. Now I know it's the Abba's will, for things like this to happen, and he has to show and prove his works, his power through, brothers and sisters out here who's actually dealing with that genuine love. And the only way that you're going to learn that genuine love is knowing the Torah, the law, statute, and commandments, period. You cannot go based off your own emotions and stuff, okay? That's where you fall short. And as we see today, men now, are led by emotions. And that is not a good thing, okay? The more you're being led by emotions, you're not thinking logically, okay? The Most High, as an example for us, shows and proves us that he thinks logically because he tries the hearts and the minds of all people in the world, not just Israel, but everybody, okay? He's not just the God of Israel. He's the God of all other nations as well, okay? So we're showing and prove today, and why we're talking on this is the instructions on how to love. Now, definitely this is going to probably be like a 4 or 5 part series because I have to go in thoroughly in depth to show and prove how the Mashiach was showing love, where he was pulling, how to show that love back before he was even put on the earth. You have examples through David. You have examples through, all the prophets and things, so forth and so on, other righteous individuals in the scriptures that don't have a really big name in there, but they were righteous men or righteous women, okay? So we're going to start today, and like I said, me, I don't do doctrines and things like this. This is not a doctrine. I'm just showing and prove how examples are being taught through the scriptures, through the Torah, and then showing how we're walking in life today, in modern times, how to apply that to ourselves, okay? Because like I said, I don't create doctrines. People need to understand what's the difference between a lesson and doctrines. Teaching and, doctrines. Doctrines, you're creating certain things, okay? And if you're going to create a doctrine, you better make sure you're having the laws to back it all the way up, okay? Because if it's not, then you're just going off your own mind, all right? But anyways, we're going to start in the book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 36 to understand what real love is, okay? Because like I said, people have this whole misinterpretation of what love is. And love is not just an emotion, it's an action. That's how we have to show and prove. Love is all an action.
Love
okay?
versus compassion. That's what it is. Compassion.
Matthew 22, verse 36. Yep, that's right. Compassion. Right. So just let me know when you guys get there. You good? Okay. All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 22.
Verse 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him.
He said, Salakia. He said, what is the great commandment on the 2 tables of stone?
What is the great commandment in the law?
In the law. Okay? So let's get this understanding here. That Christ was teaching the laws 100% and he was keeping it and following it and was teaching others to do the same thing. So we're going to see exactly what Christ is talking about, the Mashiach, when it comes to dealing with the law. But go ahead, Ak.
Yeshua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Most High with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
Now stop right there. Yeshua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Now, I want you to go to, hold that, go to you go to Exodus 20, or excuse me, no, you go to Deuteronomy 6, and I'm going to go to Exodus. I want you to get Deuteronomy 6 and verse 5. But before you do that, I'm going to read this in Exodus 20 real quick. Now, he said, to love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, and soul. I'm going to read the 10 Commandments first. Mm-hmm. And I want you to stop me when you hear what he just said, mm-hmm, to prove that he was reading from the 10 Commandments and he's only talking about the 10 Commandments. So this is Exodus 20, verse 3. It says, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy God in vain, for the Most High will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of the Most High thy Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger, which is Gentile, that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the seventh day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy Elohim giveth thee. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. So, I just read the 10 Commandments. Where did you hear, love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, and soul?
First.
No.
Oh, you said.
It was to love God, keep his commandments.
Where he said the first commandment is, and it's not the first, but he said the two greatest commandments is to love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, and soul. So out of the 10 Commandments, where did we hear it?
The first.
Nope, not even the first.
Didn't hear that.
We didn't hear it. We're going to read, hold on, we're going to read this again.
You didn't say that. Okay.
The first commandment says, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Christ said to love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, and soul. We didn't hear that in the 10 Commandments. So Christ isn't quoting the 10 Commandments. What law is he talking about? Let's pull out the law, which is Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 5. Wait until they get there. Start at verse 4 as a matter of fact. So we're going to pull out of the Torah, out of Moses' laws, since they like to separate the two. They say God's laws is the 10, Moses' laws is the laws. They say that's God's and that's man's. No, it's both. But go ahead,
Hear, O Israel.
Chapter, verse.
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4 and 5. Hear, O Israel, the Most High our God is one, and thou shalt love the Most High your God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. So
right there, showing and prove that he's quoting a law. So Christ is teaching a law. He wasn't teaching the 10 Commandments. So for Christians, this is what shows and proves that Christ isn't quoting the 10 Commandments. So when you hear Christ saying keep the commandments, people automatically think the 10. No, they're all commandments. They're all laws. They're all ordinances. They're all these different things. So show and prove there, but continue reading that.
And these words which I command thee this day, thou shalt be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. And it shall be, when the Most High thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thee, thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not, and houses full of good things. Which
That verse 12, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, stop it. Yeah, 12. So just showing to prove right there that the Most High, or excuse me, that Christ was talking about keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. When he said to write these in your house and write these upon something to bind it on your body and things, that was a symbol showing and prove that the Most High will write his name inside your heart, your mind, your body, in your soul and things. So what that's showing and prove that you are his property, because the Most High said he's the husband and Israel is the wife. So we supposed to follow what the husband says what to do. Submit ourselves unto the Most High, our husband. So this is what we're supposed to do. This is what Christ is talking about. So now we got that law. Now let's jump back to Matthew 22 and see what the next one is. Yep.
Ready?
Yep, go ahead.
And Yeshua said unto them, Thou shalt love the Most High with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it.
So hold on, Salakia. So when you do all these things, you say that you're going to keep his law, statute, and commandments, or excuse me, that you love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, and soul. That means you're giving yourself, as some people would think, well, I somewhat said this before, you're a walking sacrifice for the Most High, because you're doing everything that he's asking you to do. He's asking you to follow me, put your faith in me, put hope in me. Let me be your protector. Let me be your shield, your armor. Let me be your elder. You know, all these things. He wants you have to sacrifice your whole life to him to gain eternal life and all these other rewards that he promised us to have in things, which he will show and prove. And I'm living it right now. Okay? But go ahead, Ab.
And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
So the second is like unto the first. Love thy neighbor in the Hebrew means brethren or brothers, your own people, as thyself. So we read the 10 Commandments where it said love thy brother as thyself. We didn't see that. So what other place is Christ quoting from? Well, he's going into the law. Let's go back into the law. Leviticus chapter 19. Let's start at verse 17. No, 19. Verse 19. Chapter 19, verse 17. Excuse me.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Most High.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So Christ is still quoting, which Christians or anybody else would say, man's law. Moses' law, not God's laws. So now we're showing to prove here that Christ is speaking the Torah and he's teaching it. This is what we're supposed to do. That's that love. Because if you love the Most High thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, and soul, you will get rewarded. As a matter of fact, let's go there. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and start at verse 1 through 14. This is showing to prove the rewards that you get for loving the Most High with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. No matter what nobody says, because you ain't here to please men. You're here to please the Most High. Deuteronomy 28 and start at verse 1.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High your God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So you'll be on high above all other nations on the face of the earth. But I thought society says all men are equal because we all bleed the same blood, same color blood. Wrong. We are not the same. People are you know, you. How tall are you?
5'4".
5'4". I'm 6'3". Are we equal? No. I'm a man. You're a what? Are we equal? Can I bear children? No. Well,
I don't want to see that.
well, right.
I don't want to see that.
right. You know, but we. But anyways, that's just, you know, common sense stuff there. You know what I'm saying? But just showing to prove that we're not all equal. So the Most High actually shows favoritism. He has a favorite out here, and that's the children of Israel, Yeshua Allah, which is our people. And then if the Gentiles believe and they want to serve the Most High too, they get grafted in as well. Their place is just not above us, but they will be there with us. Okay? And there's plenty of scriptures to back that up to all camps and all you cats out there that don't like Gentiles and stuff and all this other crap. Trust me. I back it up with laws 100%. I have to do this. Okay? But anyways, what did I say? Continue.
And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken to the voice of the Most High your God. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kine, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed thou be when thou comest in, and blessed thou be when thou goest out. The Most High shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before the 7 ways. The Most High shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thine hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land when the Most High your God giveth thee. The Most High shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, and he hath sworn unto thee. If thou shalt keep the commandments of the Most High your God, and walk in all his ways.
No, only the 10 commandments.
In all his ways.
If.
Yep.
Big word. If thou shalt keep the commandments of the Most High thy Elohim, and walk in his ways. So if you don't walk in his ways, you can forget that. But continue out.
And all the people on the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Most High, and they shall be afraid of thee.
All the people of the world should see you being called by the Most High, and they should fear you because they can see something about you. There's something special about you. Something's going on, and it's scary to them. Okay? Just like when cops roll up on us and things, they call 5 other squads and stuff, trying to pull us over because you stereotype us and say that, oh, all black people and minorities were all the same. Anybody with melanin and stuff, they criminals, rapists, and murderers and things like that. We need backup. So you're scared and things. When we humble, it don't even get like that. Okay? But anyways, continue out.
And the Most High shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, in the land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers to give thee. The Most High shall open unto thee his good treasures, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. And the Most High shall make thee the head, and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If thou shalt hearken unto the commandments of the Most High your God, which I command thee this day, to observe them and do them. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after gods to serve them. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High your God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So stop right there. So, if I serve the Most High that God with all my heart, mind, body, and soul, and I get these blessings coming upon me and things like that, and I see it, and everybody else can see it and stuff, then the questions start coming around. Yo, what you all doing, man? Hey, can I start doing what you doing and stuff? What's up? And things like that. Show me how you supposed to do these things. Now they asking how you receiving in a certain way those blessings. How you getting these things? So, commanded by the Most High, I need to love my brethren as myself. So what that means is, if I'm getting these things, I would like to see my brother to get the same thing as well and receive the same things, even better than me. Okay? That's love for your brother. So why not teach your people how to serve the Most High so you really can receive real blessings and not go to no church or anywhere and start giving your tithe money and all these dang offerings and stuff that don't mean squat because people don't want to read and they robbing you and robbing the Most High. Right. So I want to see blessings. I want to see the same smile on everybody's face that I always wake up to, that I always get up to, that I always go through on an everyday basis. We all should be smiling, not sad, not mad. You know, it's like but you know, that's what it is. See, we need to be smiling and stuff. We need to be happy. That's healing. That's medicine for you and stuff. You know, joyfulness. I mean, there's scriptures that even tell you that. You know, having this joyful heart, joyful mind, and things like that can take you a long way. You know, and these are the things that we want. That's a reward for me.
What was that?
You know,
John 15:8. Talk about being joyful.
Go ahead, pull it out.
John
No, you pull it out. Pull it out. We're going to John, just regular John.
Yeah.
Okay, St. John 15 and verse 8. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, just John
15:8
to 11.
8 to 11. Go ahead, read it out.
John 15:8, starting at verse 8. Y'all there?
Wait, hold on. Slack here, y'all. Just 1 second. You want to say something else?
No, I'm enjoying this.
Okay. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Right. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so you shall be my disciples. As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If you keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, and even as I have kept my Father's commandments, and I abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, that your joy might be full.
Might be full.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, the water. Mm-hmm. So that's showing to prove, like what the Ak was bringing out. Mm-hmm. Hey, this is the joyfulness that you get for keeping the commandments, and showing to prove that love is right there. That goes on with the lesson what we're speaking on today and stuff. So, like Yeshua was showing us, or Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, you know, or to some still say Jesus Christ, you know, just showing and prove to us how we need to get love from the Father by keeping his commandments. Well, as a matter of fact, go to 1 John 5 and 3 real quick. I'll back that up real quick. Yep. First, start at verse. Start at verse 1. As a matter of fact, that's fine. 1 John chapter 5, verse 1.
Okay. Whoever believeth that Jesus is the Christ is born of God, and everyone that loveth him that begat loveth him also that is begotten of him. But by this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep His commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous.
So His commandments are not hard. We got to keep them. It doesn't say the 10 commandments only. Once again, it does not specify saying a number on there. It says commandments as in plural. So with that being said, if it didn't say just the 10, you can't go by just the 10. It has to be all of them. And by default, majority of you're already keeping those commandments because you don't have cattle, you don't have sheep, you don't have goats, you don't have crops, you don't have the Ark of the Covenant and things like that. You don't have the Kohens and Miriams, the Goshens. You don't have none of these things set up. You don't have them. So by default, you're already keeping it. Okay?
And don't try to modernize it like the pastors and the churches do.
Right.
And try to say, well, you don't have this and this, so you do it with this.
Right. Yeah. No. You still keep, like we said, for instance, if as in the Torah, the law says, if a Gentile's oxen or something goes straying away from his flocks and it ends up in your field or in your lands and stuff, it says, what should you do with it? You're supposed to take that oxen, despite that it's a Gentile, give it back to them because it's theirs. Okay? So you can't be like, oh, he a Gentile, he ain't getting that back. No, you can't do that, fam. No, you cannot do that. So in modern days today, how would you apply that to modern day? So what if somebody drops their wallet and stuff? It's a Gentile. And it has $4,000 in there and stuff. Got all their credit cards, everything, their information, everything is in there. The ID, everything, Social Security card. What should you do? Take it back to them. You cannot take nothing out of there. And guess what? If you do this out of the kindness of your heart, according to the Torah, you never know that maybe that Gentile might just break you off a little reward. And that's not coming from him. That's coming from the Abba. Okay? So, this is how you're supposed to deal with when we're dealing with this walk. This is what we need to do. This is what we continuously need to do on an everyday basis. Yes, it's a struggle. We're coming out of brainwashed captivity of slave masters, still trying to get at us today. Still trying to brainwash us into doing what they want us to do because they know our book better than we should be knowing it. Well, they know it better than we do because they actually study it. And they know how to cut your name off from being a name. Cut the name, cut you off from being a name to the Most High.
Yep.
Okay? So this is what they're doing. That's their plan. So we have to, we got to counter that. And the way to counter it is putting your trust in the Most High. Don't become of this world. Don't become worldly and things like that. Mind you, we got to function in this world. And there's necessities that we need, but to be of it and things like, watching that crap on TV and things like that, and BT and all these soap opera, all these what do you call those shows? The reality shows. Thanks, babe. Yeah, all these different things. And you're living your life because they're allowing you to control. They're controlling you to live that lifestyle. It makes money. It's entertaining. Okay, so we have to really push away from all that. The Most High didn't make us to be entertainers for them. We're supposed to be entertaining the Most High. Okay, but since we brought up those laws, let's jump to Isaiah chapter 54 and let's get some examples or understanding why we need to conduct ourselves in a certain way to receive this type of love, to show and prove that we love not only the Most High, the Ruach HaKodesh, and Hamashiach Shai, but also our people. Okay, Isaiah chapter 54. And we'll start at verse 5.
Isaiah chapter 54, verse 5. For thy master is thine husband.
For thy maker.
For thy maker is thine husband. The Most High of hosts, or the Lord of hosts, is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole earth shall be called.
So stop right there. The Most High just said he's the husband. Plain and simple. So who's his wife? Or wives? Let me get plural here. Because if he says Israel is his only wife, but yet he says he's the God of all nations, so what if those gods come on, what if the mother nations come on to the Most High and want to serve him and put away their uncleanliness or what their customs were? Shouldn't they be called wives as well? So now, you don't only have Israel as a wife, you have Gentiles as a wife. So that's polygyny, okay? Whether, you can draw it up the way it is. And like I said, I'm going to do a lesson on polygyny and things like that to show and prove certain things. But anyways, the fact of the matter is he's not just the husband of us only, but of all. Those that are called by his name. Those whose name, his name is written in, okay? And there's many. Ruth. Ruth was a Hebrew Moabite. Okay? So let's get this whole Ruth is an Israelite. Stop that. No. She's a Moabite. But the fact of the matter is, it's showing to prove she's a Gentile. She wanted to serve the Most High, that God, with all her heart, mind, body, and soul. She said, I will not go back to my people and do their ways and serve their gods and stuff. We're going to stay there. Okay? So she did the ordinance and everything was according to Torah. So she was treated as one if one was born in the land. Like it tells you in the Torah. Okay? But continue out.
For the Most High hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in the spirit, and a wife of youth when thou wast refused, saith God. For a small moment that I have forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee.
So for a small moment have I forsaken thee. The reason why he forsaken us, he didn't divorce us, but he forsaken us because of the fact is that we wasn't trying to follow him. We wasn't showing him no love. So what are you gonna do with a wife that ain't trying to show you no love? Gotta let her go. And according to the Torah, there's a certain way how you're supposed to divorce them. You can't just divorce a wife because she's just nagging and stuff, or she got a mouth on her, or she crazy as ever.
Fornicating with other guys.
Yeah, if she does stuff that's fornicating with physical people, committing adultery or adulteress, or serving other gods and idolatry and stuff, that's what you could divorce her for. But all the other stuff, she ain't doing all that stuff, you can't divorce her. And she could talk bad about you all she wants, so you cannot divorce her. Nope. And trust me, I've had many people ask me, well, Ak, man, I gotta let her go, man. She wicked and stuff. I said, oh yeah, how's she wicked? Oh man, she always, she always, running her mouth. She don't want to get in order and stuff, and this, that, and the other and things, and she trying to be the head and stuff. Man, she gotta go. I was like, did she worship any other gods? No. Has she cheated on you? Has she committed adultery or fornicated with anybody? No. Is she back in Christianity or Islam or any of these man-made religion? No.
Hold on, she spent all my money.
Well, hey, did she break any of those things? No. So you can't put her away. If she took your money and stuff, hey, that's your fault. And two, you ain't supposed. This system is crazy, but anyways, hey, I'll talk about that later. But anyways, but just showing and prove, Most High is letting us know the love that He has for us, that He wouldn't put us away all the way. He wouldn't forsake us. He's giving us a chance. But there is a time limit.
Right.
There is a limit to His mercy and things. When the scriptures back it up. He says 2/3 of Israel got to go, and then the other nations that don't want to serve Him and stuff, they got to go too. And where they going? He's getting rid of death. It's done. It's over with. Right. Okay? But continue, Ak.
In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer. For this is as waters of Noah unto me, for as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. For the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee. Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord that hath mercy on thee.
So just showing and prove, no matter what goes on, it could be earthquakes, it could be other things going on and stuff, on the earth and things, he's comparing that, saying like, listen, those things can depart. Those things can, go apart from one another. But his loving kindness will not go apart from you. Okay? So with that being said, it's showing to prove that he's not going to leave you. But once again, that has a time limit on there. Okay? But go ahead, Ak.
O thou afflicted, tossed with tempest, and not comforted, behold, I will lay thy stones with fair colors. For it, behold, I will lie thy stone. And lay thy foundations with sapphires. And I will make the windows of a gates, and thou gates of carbuncles, and all thy borders of pleasant stones. And all thy children shall be taught by the Most High, and great shall be the peace of thy children. In righteousness shalt thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear, and from terror, and it shall not come near thee.
So we just read in the Torah in Deuteronomy 28. You keep the law, statute, and commandments, he'll keep you safe from all these things. He'll give you plentiful things. Your storehouses, meaning your businesses, your crops, your livestock, rain to, keep the fruit plentiful. Your children, which he said, fruit of thy body and stuff, they'll be healthy. All these things, if you but just serve him. This is the love that he has. And he's telling you, I'll build up certain things that you, like many other scriptures, and even in Psalms, it shows and proves that if you follow the Most High, he'll give you things that you want. Things you didn't even ask for. Okay? He'll give you an abundance of those things. Like Solomon was one of them. Solomon only asked for knowledge and wisdom and understanding. But what came with that, he gave him abundance of everything else. Okay? So, and I bear witness to that all the time. It's a testimony. It's a known fact. He does do those things. Okay? So, not only he already knows what you need, but he'll give you what you want. Okay? He'll give it what your heart's desires. But yeah, we saw the hate in that picture. But go ahead, Aki.
Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for my sake. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
The waster to destroy.
Waster destroy.
So he's letting you know, once again, to my Christian followers, the Most High creates good.
And he creates
evil. See that?
Wow.
So he said it. This is coming out the Most High's mouth, okay? And guess what? You never think of this, but we read. No, I didn't say it on here. But when they said in Matthew 10 and 34, when Christ said, "Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." That sounds evil. That sounds wicked. Why would he want to hurt anybody?
It's about love.
Right. Jesus would never do those things. But that you're not being taught right. See, and Christ is that instrument. The Most High does not have to get off his throne to do anything. Nothing. He has everybody in place. He even has other angels to take care of other angels and stuff when they do wrongly. And they still fall until this day. That's a known fact. Your little shooting stars that you see in the sky and things, they ain't no shooting star. That's a fallen angel and stuff because they're still committing things they ain't supposed to be doing. And it's a known fact. That's why the Most High said, until heaven and earth pass, until the new heaven and the new earth comes, when those things pass, then the law should be done. But this is why he has to get rid of the heaven, because he has to bring in a new one, because there's a lot of wickedness that's going on in certain realms up there. Okay? So it's a lot of, this is probably a little deep stuff for a lot of people, but you got to talk a little bit about it. But continue.
Verse 17, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Most High, and their righteousness is of, saith the Lord.
Is of me, said the Most High. So, show and prove. Look, the Most High said he got your back in whatever you guys do, no matter what you put your mind to. If you but just put him first, guarantee you would get an abundance of things. It's a known fact. You just need to test him and try him. You have to try the Most High. Because he has to back up his word. If he doesn't back up his word and stuff, then he's not a God. Okay? And that's what a lot of our people ain't doing. They're testing him the wrong way. They're trying him the wrong way. And the trying him is getting curses put on him and stuff. That's what we don't need. And a lot of people like the Most High, we're going to read other scriptures. The Most High even says, ain't y'all tired of me chastising you, whooping you and stuff? And this ain't even doing it no more. What's the point of me even wasting my time and whooping you and stuff and wasting my energy and my breath? You know what? You want to be disobedient? I'm finna get rid of y'all. Plain and simple. I'm going to put y'all to death. The Torah backs that up 100%. When you have disobedient children that don't want to listen to the parents and stuff, what do the parents do? They go to the elders. The elder, they don't listen to the elders. Then they go to the judges. The judges, they don't listen to the judges. There's one thing you need to do. Take that child of yours or children, walk them up on a high mountain somewhere, and toss their little butts off the cliff. Plain and simple. And as it says in the Torah, it says dig a hole. Well, basically, this is what they'll do. They'll dig a hole, put you in there, cover it up so your half of your body is sticking out, and get to chucking stones at you. So that's a known fact. And see, trust me, a lot of children will be gone today. What's been going on. And guess what? That's going to come a point in time, it's going to happen because this society teaches you not to discipline your children and stuff.
Lawlessness.
No.
Just like Christianity.
Right. Sodom and Gomorrah, all these different things. But anyways, let's jump to Songs of Solomon chapter 8 and verse 6 and 7. Let's get some more.
What chapter?
Chapter 8 and verse 6 through 7. Songs of Solomon chapter 8 verse 6 through 7.
The Psalms chapter 8 verse 6 through 7. Thou madest.
No, Songs of Solomon. This is Psalms.
Oh.
Song. Should be ready for a problem. Salakia, 1 second. There you go. 8. All right, Songs of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 6 through 7.
Set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm, for love is strong as death. Jealousy is cruel as the grave. The coals thereof are coals of fire, which hath a most vehement flame.
So hold that real quick. What's being spoken here is the Torah once again. What we just read, and it says, "Set me as a seal upon thy heart, as a seal upon thy arm." What is he talking about? How we go back? You guys just hold that. I'm just going to go there. Deuteronomy in 6 and verse 5 again. Verse 8. It says, "And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates." So just basically showing and prove with the Torah. This is how you teach. This is how you go back and forth to get understanding. When I hear these things, I understand that they're speaking about the Torah. That's why I can go back and pinpoint all these. You should be able to do that as well. Okay, if you're studying yourself. Okay, but read that verse again though.
Set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm, for love is strong as death. Jealousy is cruel as the grave. The coals thereof are coals of fire, which hath a most vehement flame. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can the floods drown it. If a man would give all the substance of his house for love, it would utterly be contemned.
So, just showing to prove, like, I don't know, I'm going to use an example. Greek fire. You cannot, no matter what, when you light that stuff, okay, you could put water on it, it's worse than a grease fire. It will not go out. It will actually inflame even more. You can even throw it underwater, and it would not go out. That's how Greek fire is and stuff. Whatever the components and however that is, so forth and so on. But that's just showing and proof as an example. That's how the Most High is saying. That's what they're saying about the Most High, that His love won't go out for you. He'll love you enough to show and prove that I'm going to put you to death if you don't listen to me. Plain and simple. I love you enough for that. That's tough love. Okay? But, I don't know what they teaching in Christianity. But anyways, let's jump back to go to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 2 through 3. You can start at verse 1. That's fine. In the New Testament, Ephesians. Now wait. Actually, just start at verse 2. Excuse me. Ephesians 4 and verse 2.
We're in.
No.
Pass it up.
It's right after It's right after Galatians. 2 Corinthians, Galatians,
Chapter
Ephesians.
4, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Verse 1.
Start at verse 2. This is how we're supposed to conduct ourselves when we're dealing with the love. Okay?
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 2. With all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called in one of your calling.
So stop right there. So this is how we're supposed to deal with one another. Lowliness, meekness, but long suffering, forbearing one another in love. So if I know I got brothers out here and I know that they're in the truth, but they're dealing with stuff and they keep doing certain things, it's like, well, you got to deal with them on a certain level. You have to be like, well, talk to them about it, get it out their system and stuff, let them vent and things, but also teach them like, yo, you can't be doing this no more. Or, sis, you can't be doing these certain things anymore. You have to put up with it for a while, but you cannot keep putting up with it if they're going to drag you down with them. Okay? You got to learn to cut yourself off. All right? And that's a known fact when we're dealing in the truth here, because even the Most High says, we're supposed to separate. He's going to set yourself apart from them. That's what holy means. Be set apart. Okay? So, yeah, we could deal with brothers and sisters, and there's a level, there's a balance. You can't just be like, oh, man, yo, Negro, you sinning and stuff. Get away from me, you dang heathen. No, you can't be doing that, man. Like, how you supposed to teach anybody anything? How's they supposed to understand and learn from their mistakes and stuff if you constantly coming down like that on them? You got to learn how to talk to people, okay? And a lot of cats out there, for you so-called camps out there and other leaders, deacons, bishops, and elders, whatever man-made titles you got, you ain't teaching these youngsters right, okay? You're not teaching them how they're supposed to deal with the world. And that's what's giving us a bad name. Not only us a bad name, but most of all, giving the Most High a bad name. Okay? And this is what makes people don't want to turn. But some of y'all have the mentality, let the Father's will be done. Because it's going to happen. Yeah? It's going to happen, but you ain't got to force it. Let it happen on the Most High's terms. Okay? But go ahead, Art.
One Lord, one faith, one baptism.
I'm sorry, Salakia. My bad. Wait. Salakia. Unity, I'm sorry. And in devouring and keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. To back that up, go to Psalms chapter 133. Because this is something that this is something I notice in Israel. People keep saying, well, Christ is going to bring us together and things like that. But Yeshua never said not to try or not to strive for it before he gets here. You're supposed to be doing these things. So stop waiting and sitting idle or using certain scriptures with no understanding and trying to force that on and say, no, well, that's that person, that's that congregation, that's them. They're Lutherans, they're Baptists, they're this, that, and the other. Or the camps and stuff. They're Old Testament, they New Testament, this, that, and the other. No. The question is, do you love the Most High thy God with all your heart, mind, body, and soul? Are you keeping his law, statutes, and commandments and applying it to self, teaching your children, and walking in on an everyday basis? Okay? That's the question. The heck with all these other different things. All right? But go ahead.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
Say that again?
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
How pleasant it is for brethren to dwell in unity. There's the word right there. It's a pleasant thing. You can accomplish so many different things on so many levels if you're with your brother, helping your brothers or your sisters out. Okay? Helping out the widows, helping out the fatherless, the poor, the needy, That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's a good thing. And not only that, they shouldn't be poor. There was a couple of times in Israel where nobody was poor. They had so much in his treasury that everybody was getting something. And that's a law in itself too, because the Levites are supposed to be the ones that help distribute that back, a certain amount of that back onto the people, which you so-called churches don't do and things like that. And even camps now, okay? Israelite camps, you do the same thing. Okay, but go ahead.
As the dew of Hermon,
verse 2.
It is like the precious ointment upon the head that went down to the skirts of his garments. As the dew of Hermon.
Wait. You missed something. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went, that went down to the skirts of his garments. So it's letting you know that even Aaron's beard was that long that when you pour oil and stuff, oil starts coming back together and stuff, and they just all come to form one. So obviously it went all the way down his beard and formed it, and it was just dripping off his beard. That's showing unity, form, coming together and stuff. But go ahead, verse 3.
As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion, for there the Most High commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.
So rain, rain hits everything. Wherever it's raining and stuff, the whole mountain's going to get it. And that's starting from the top, rain draws all the way down to the bottom and stuff. It runs down collectively together. Okay? That's how we're supposed to be. That's how we can get things done. We can move mountains. We can do all these different things. And we come in unity. And that's unity needs love. Righteous love. Logical love. But not all emotional. It has to be with action. Okay? But jump to Psalms 116. Yep, to back this up. Book of Psalms 116. Here, one of David's songs here to show and prove what he means.
I love the Most High, because he hath heard my voice and my supplications.
So I love the Most High because he heard my voice and my supplications, meaning his prayers and stuff, his cries on out and things. There's scripture in here that tells and shows and proves that the Most High said, I won't listen to your prayers. I don't want to hear your noise of your music. I don't even want to smell the smoke of your feast days. Even if you're keeping the holy feast days, I don't want to smell them because you ain't doing it according to what I said to do. You're doing it for likes, the claps, the entertainment, and all this and that and the other and stuff. You looking to please men instead of pleasing the Most High. That's what you're looking for.
Tainted.
Right. So he would not hear it. It says the earth shall be like brass or iron, and the heavens should be like brass. So we were saying in an earlier lesson that, if you got a cell phone, you go underneath the ground somewhere, there's concrete. You ain't going to get no reception. Same thing with the Most High. So If you ain't showing the love that he needs, you ain't gonna get no love back. Plain and simple. It ain't no one-way street. Hey, you gotta. It's both ways. You know. So you want certain things from the Most High, then do what he asks you. If you ain't gonna do it, then don't expect anything. Okay. But go ahead, Aunt.
Because he hath inclined his ear unto me, therefore will I call upon him as long as I live.
See, and as long as he lives, all these things that the Most High is blessing you with, the things, always call upon him, no matter if it's chastisement, if you're getting put through trials and tribulations, always bless him for everything he does, because it's a learning situation, it's a teaching situation, it's an experience that you need to know, because he's trying to shape and mold you into everything that he wants you to be, because he loves you that much. He's trying to form you into that perfect gold and stuff. Like he says, he tries you through the fire. Okay? But go ahead, Aunt.
The sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell gat hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow.
So he's letting you know, all this stuff is going around. It's playing on your emotions. It's playing on your spirit. All this stuff bad that you deem as bad and stuff, you look at it and be like, man, I can't keep going through this. I can't do this. A lot of other nations, when they get put through this, they suicide themselves. They kill themselves because they can't handle this. And that's the problem. So what David is saying here, he's showing the proof. Listen, I'm showing you the experience. I've been through this. I'm going through this. Best believe the Most High is still going to pull me out of this. He's trying you. And there's something that he does not like, or something he sees that needs to be strengthened in you. That's what he's doing. So don't take the chastisement as something bad. Okay? There's a reward out of it. Whether it's spiritual or material. One way or another. Okay? But go ahead, Aunt.
Then called I upon the name of the Most High. O Lord, I beseech thee, deliver my soul.
So he said, I call upon the Most High. Once again, he didn't call on man. He didn't say, Brother Ezekiel, pray for me. He didn't say, Elder Chris, help me out this. Brother Lee, do this for me. You know, little heathen Luis, do this for me. You know? No, but seriously though, you know, these are the things that you have to put your faith into first and foremost. It's always in the Most High no matter what. Because if you don't, he's going to become jealous. He says, I am a jealous God. The reason why he's a jealous guy is because you are his wife. You're his property. He already purchased you. Okay? Nobody else is. So if you go dipping off and putting your trust in man or woman out there and things like that, of course he's going to be pissed off with you.
Smack in the face.
It's a known fact. Even there's a law on jealousy in the book of Numbers. When a wife brings the spirit, the jealous spirit onto her husband, they got to go through all these different things. So obviously the man is feeling some type of way because his wife shouldn't be doing certain things.
Right.
Okay? So, I mean, it's all in here. It's all in the book if you just study for self. But continue, Aunt.
Gracious is the Most High and righteous, yeah, our God is merciful. The Most High preserves the simple. I was brought low, and he helped me.
I was brought low, and he helped me. The question is, you need to ask yourself, why were you brought low? There's a reason. You need to figure that out yourself. Can't nobody else tell you this. This is something you got to figure out yourself. But go ahead, Aunt.
Return unto thy rest, O my soul, for the Most High hath dealt bountifully with thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death, mine eyes from tears, and my feet from falling. I will walk before the Most High in the land of the living. I believe, therefore have I spoken. I was greatly afflicted. I said in my haste, all men are liars. That what shall I render unto the Most High for all his benefits toward me? I will take the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Most High.
Stop right there. Even David is sitting here saying, I was greatly afflicted, and said in my haste, all men are liars. He's actually repenting right here to know, like, yo, I made a mistake. I didn't mean to call everybody liars. I was going through something. Okay? All men aren't liars. Some are. Okay? Not all, but some. So he's even repenting right here. He's changing. Like, Father, forgive me for what I said. I didn't mean to call everybody a liar. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Most High is looking to see. You change and correct yourself and your mistakes and things. That's what he's looking for. Okay? But go ahead, Art.
I will pay my vows unto the Most High now in the presence of his people.
I will pay my vows unto the Most High now in the presence of all his people. There's laws on the vows and stuff, especially when you're married, and whatever comes out your mouth and things that you say unto the Most High or swear by the Most High, these vows are very important in things, okay? And yes, there's certain things that people will break the vow, which the Most High will make invalid or, void. He'll void it, okay? But anyways, you're supposed to make these vows unto the Most High, whether it's marriage or whatever deal you're making with the Most High. You're not selling your soul out here trying to get a quick buck and things like that because you want to get in the industry or become some celebrity and all this other stuff that they do. They sold, like the scripture says. What is it to you that, you gain the whole world but lose your soul? That's not a good deal. But with the Most High, you could gain the whole world and still keep your soul. Okay? But it's up to the Most High because he's the elder of us all. We don't work on our own time. We're working on his time. So stop looking for, no, it don't work like that. All right? But continue.
Precious in the sight of the Most High is the death of his saints. O Lord, truly I am the servant. I am thy servant and the son of thine handmaid. Thou hast loosed my bonds.
Thou hast loosed my bonds. What he's talking about, the curses. What David brought on himself for the sins that he did, he brought curses on himself. But since he turned away from it and never did it again, those bondages were released, like it tells you in Paul's writings, who think that you're not under the law anymore. You don't understand this scripture. You're above the law, you're not bounded to the law if you're not breaking the laws. Okay? So with that being said, every time you break the law, you put a curse on yourself. If you're keeping the laws, guess what? The law is not for you. It's for the lawless. Okay? But continue, O
Lord, truly I am thy servant. I am thy servant and the son of thine handmaid. Thou hast loosed my bonds. I will offer to thee the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and will call upon the name of the Most High. I will pay my vows unto the Most High now in the presence of all of his people, in the courts of the Most High's house, in the midst of thee, O Jerusalem. Praise the Most High.
Praise ye the Most High. So show and improve. Here's one little example of what David said to do. How you show and prove to give thanks to the Most High. This is how we're supposed to do it. Okay? He showed and proved to you. I mean, you can go read all the sins that King David, our brethren, did, and he turned away from them. He never did them again. Okay? So, anywho, this is an hour already. So, basically, this is part one. So, like I said, it's going to be a little series here. But, anywho, I hope you guys got some more knowledge and wisdom and understanding, some jewels off of this. And, hope it helps you in your walk and everything. And, if you the Most High will, we'll be back here next week. So, I'm Brother Ezekiel.
I'm Brother Javier.
And we're saying Shalom, Yasha'Allah, and world.